Welcome to The Scoop, where small changes lead to big results. I'm Rachel, a registered dietitian and a mom on a mission to make nutrition simple, practical, and actually doable. Whether it's decoding labels, busting food myths, or sharing easy wellness wins, this is your space to get real answers that fit real life. So let's dive into today's episode and take one more step toward feeling your best. Any and all opinions and views shared by hosts and guests on this podcast are the speaker's own and do not represent the views of Live It Up or its affiliates or parent company. Hey guys, welcome back to The Scoop, serving you straight nutrition talk, one scoop at a time. Today, we're talking about seed oils. Seed oils are one of the most controversial topics in nutrition currently. Some experts say they're toxic, inflammatory, destroying our health. Others argue they're neutral or even beneficial. So what is the truth? Today, I'm going to break down what seed oils actually are, how they affect inflammation, what the research says about their impact on hormones and long-term disease risk. I'm Rachel, Chief Registered Dietitian for Live It Up, and I'm here to help you eat smarter, live better, and feel your best. So let's start with the basics. Seed oils are things like soybean, corn, sunflower, safflower, canola oil. They're polyunsaturated fats that are high in omega-6 fatty acids, specifically linoleic acid, and omega-6 fats are essential. Our bodies can't make them, so we must get them from our diet. Omega-3 fatty acids are another type of polyunsaturated fat and also essential to get from the diet. And their benefits are well known and well studied. The best sources of omega-3s come from animal foods, things like fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, tuna steak, sardines, anchovies. Some plants also provide us with omega-3 fatty acids, and you can find them in algae oil, chia seeds, ground flax oil, walnuts, soybeans. So it should be noted that plant sources aren't as efficiently used in the body, so you need to get more of them for the same benefits as from fish. Fun nutrition fact, because I love my nutrition facts. The terms omega-3 and omega-6 simply refer to the position of the carbon-carbon double bond on these long unsaturated fats. It influences their shape, which in turn influences how they work in the body. Interestingly, when looked at individually, high levels of omega-3s and high levels of omega-6s in the body have been shown to be beneficial to long-term health. But research is pointing to omega-3s as being more protective, and they can help balance out the omega-6s in the body. This is, in fact, the crux of the issue with omega-6s. It's the balance. We often look at the balance or the ratio between omega-3s and omega-6s as an indicator of health. Most people today actually consume too much omega-6s and not enough omega-3s. Why does this matter? Because omega-6 fats, when consumed in excess without enough omega-3s, and that's the biggest point here, it's without enough omega-3s, may tilt the body toward a more inflammatory state. Now, inflammation isn't always bad. Acute inflammation is part of healing. We have to have some inflammation in the body, and our body can usually handle it. In fact, our body makes antioxidants to help, but it doesn't make enough antioxidants for the amount of inflammation that many of us have, right? And this inflammation can come from environmental pollution. It can come from ultra-processed foods, or there are just a lot of different factors that can infer how much inflammation we have going on. So we do need to get enough vegetables and fruits for antioxidants to help with this inflammation. But ultimately, chronic low-grade inflammation has been linked to chronic diseases, and in some cases, even some hormone dysfunction. So why are people hating on seed oils, Rachel? The theory, or what critics argue, is that the most common omega-6, linoleic acid, is highly unstable, and it converts to arachidonic acid in the body, which is a building block for other inflammatory molecules. Then accumulates and increases inflammation in the body. But studies also show that arachidonic acid is also involved in anti-inflammatory pathways. And while cellular theory and studies may show that this omega-6 is inflammatory, most large human outcome studies actually show the opposite. They show that they don't necessarily lead to increased inflammation, but that a lack of unsaturated fats in general in the diet may increase risk for chronic disease, and that omega-6 fatty acid intake is actually linked with lower risk of disease. So where do seed oils fit into this picture? Studies show that omega-6 fats themselves don't directly cause inflammation in the absence of a poor overall diet. In fact, linoleic acid has been shown to help reduce bad LDL cholesterol, increase good HDL cholesterol. It also helps to keep blood sugar stable, which helps improve the body's sensitivity to insulin. But here's the nuance, right? When seed oils are used in ultra-processed foods, fried fast foods, packaged snacks, frozen meals, the problem isn't just the oil. A lot of people say, oh, the problem with ultra-processed foods is the oil, but it's not. It's the entire food matrix. It's the refined carbs, it's the added sugar, it's the high sodium. It's damaging the fats from all the high heat frying. That's the real cocktail, right? Plus, we're getting more and more omega-6s without increasing our omega-3s. We are not getting enough omega-3s. This is the most important factor here. The best thing that we can do is not necessarily stop eating seed oils, though we really do need to cut down on the processed foods, but rather we need to get more omega-3s because they work harder and better to balance out the ratio. So what does this mean for hormones? So chronic inflammation may impact insulin sensitivity, hormonal changes, even cortisol regulation. And while more studies are needed, some are starting to indicate that diets high in ultra-processed foods may be associated with menstrual irregularities, PCOS symptoms, or even symptoms of menopause. Now let's tackle some myths. Myth number 1, seed oils are poison. The fact is, seed oils are not inherently toxic. Context matters. Eating sunflower oil on a salad or canola oil in your salad dressing is not the same thing as eating French fries fried in it 3 times over. Plus, we have got to increase our omega-3 fatty acids. We have to. Myth number 2, saturated fat is better. This is fiction. This is fiction. Diets high in saturated fat raise LDL cholesterol and risk of different chronic diseases. While the goal isn't necessarily to swap all butter for seed oil, butter is delicious, butter is great. Research does show that swapping out some saturated fats for unsaturated fats is associated with lower mortality. Myth number 3, omega-6s should be avoided completely. No. They're essential. The real solution is increasing your omega-3 intake from fish, from flaxseed, chia, algae. However you're going to do it, you need to bring that ratio back up into balance by getting more omega-3s. And you want to start reducing your processed food intake and obviously fried food, because heating the oils is really not awesome. So here's your action plan. Beginner, you want to limit fried foods, start to reduce your ultra processed food intake. This will help reduce your intake of oils, but it's also going to reduce your intake of added sugars and saturated fats and added sodium and a lot of additives that might be best minimized. Intermediate, you want to cook at home when you're able. This way, you know what's going into your food. Go for olive oil, avocado oil if you'd like. I cook with olive oil, I bake with canola oil. I don't avoid it, but it's actually not one of the oils I use very much. And I don't think many people use seed oils at home very often. Most people use olive oil. So if you're concerned about the processing of seed oils, go for the ones that are cold pressed, unrefined. Advanced, you want to actively add omega-3s into your diet. Salmon, at least once a week or twice a week. Have chia seeds, have ground flax, include walnuts. But again, you may want to consider a fish oil or an algae supplement to really impact your ratio. The bottom line is this: seed oils aren't the devil, but they're not a free pass either. In moderation, in the right context, they can fit into a healthy diet. When they dominate your intake through ultra-processed foods and fried foods, and you're not getting enough omega-3 fatty acids, that's when you might need to reconsider so that you can help get your ratio back in order. So if this was helpful, don't forget to subscribe, because next week we're going to continue tackling the myths that surround foods so that you can cut through the BS, eat to feel your best, and I want you to go out there and have a fabulous day.